My name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We are getting into Star Wars Gossip Hero mods for Aurra Singh. Who is Aurra Singh? She is a friend of Boba Fett. She is a bounty hunter. She's a friend of Boba Fett. She is girlfriend to bounty hunter Dengar. She has a house out in the Dune Sea of Tatooine. You can actually see a cameo clip of her during the pod racer of the Phantom Menace, that she is actually just stepping outside from her home, apparently, because she lives out in that area and watching the pod racers race by. Now, Disney has kind of muddied the waters a little with Aurra Singh. There is Disney Star Wars fan suggestions that in Solo, a person that was being killed in, I can't think of his name at the moment, but the villain, the lead villain of the film, in his office was supposed to have been Aurra Singh. My generation of Star Wars is going to say BS. Why? Because that's pre-A New Hope Star Wars. Post Return of the Jedi, she makes an appearance in the Bounty Hunter Wars, starting with Book 1, The Mandalorian Armor, where when the Jabba the Hutt cell barge exploded, again, she has a home out in the Dune Sea. That's in the same area of Jabba's cell barge exploding. She and Dengar both were at her home, witnessed the smoke from the cell barge exploding, and went to go investigate after the rebels had left, after Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and Lando, Luke, C-3PO, and R2-D2 left the cell barge explodings. They went to go investigate the wreckage, and they found Boba Fett crawling his way out of the Starlight Pit. They helped him. The Book of Boba Fett is another issue against my generation of Star Wars fans because of this. If Aurra Singh was killed in Solo, how could she have saved Boba after Return of the, or during, actually, technically, would have been while Return of the Jedi was still going on. I mean, these events would have been happening as Return of the Jedi was still happening, technically. And there was no, the Tuskens, I mean, they weren't, there was nothing about Tuskens rescuing Boba in this book. Nothing about that. Nothing about Jawa showing up. Although I would not rule out that they would have shown up eventually to try to salvage parts. I definitely would not rule that out. But they wouldn't have shown up immediately. Especially if they were too far away. And then from this point, they go out and help Boba take down the Bounty Hunter Guild before after that, he goes after trying to hunt down Han. But they help Boba kind of get his takedown against the Bounty Hunter Guild. She was a member of the Bounty Hunter Guild. I believe she goes independent, becomes an independent contractor, if I'm not mistaken. You can get more details on Aurra Singh as well as Dengar. That's the guy with the bandaging up to the right of Boba in this picture. That's Dengar. That's her boyfriend. You can also read more about her in the Tales of the Bounty Hunters. Now, the fans can say, well, that's legend. This is canon. My generation does not see it that way. We see it as this is Star Wars, not Star Trek. Star Trek does that timeline jumping business. Star Wars to us has never done that. So how could she have been killed? That is the muddy waters from Disney. Again, another little tiff feud from the George Lucas era Star Wars fans against the Disney Star Wars producers. It is one element that could be a fan war. Part of the fan war that's going on. But if we put that aside, Aurra Singh is a resident of Tatooine. She is a bounty hunter, a mercenary, and a scoundrel. She works with those characters. She largely is a bounty hunter, and she functions mercenary. But she was a member of the Bounty Hunter Guild. I think she does go independent. Partly why she might have helped Boba take down the Bounty Hunter Guild. Swgoh.gg recommends modding her with critical damage and critical chance. She is an attacker. So, if you go back to my videos at the front of my playlist, one other thing, you can also find Aurra Sing in the Clone Wars series, where she does help, kind of, in her mind, rescue Boba from orphanhood, in her mind. She does have a bit an extremist approach, as you can see in the show. She's very lethal. She's considered one of the most dangerous bounty hunters out there, which is another thing that brings the question why she would be so easily killed in Solo. If that was her, we didn't get a good depiction or image of who he was killing. Disney Star Wars fans are saying that was her. My generation is saying no way, it could not have been. Because we know who Aurra Sing is, and we know her better than the Disney fans do. With that said, back to swgoh.gg, the mods recommendation. At the earlier part of my playlist, I give I break down definitively the different type of characters. Like Aurra is an attacker. She's going to attack. She's going to assault. She's going to go all out. She will fight. Critical is usually not a good thing, but it's intensifying. It's doing it's extensive to whatever is happening. Critical chance. Chance is like a gambling word, but you're intensifying the odds. You're increasing her odds, basically. Critical damage. She's going to do a lot of damage when she attacks. We basically are improving upon her attacking abilities. She's going to attack hard. You're basically kind of doubling up the damage she's going to do when she attacks. You're increasing her strength. And of course, if you're increasing her strength, you're kind of turning her almost attacking like a tank. Is basically what you're doing. You are cross-training her with the mods to attack like a tank. She's gonna be quick already. Speed is not an issue, but you're toughening her up. You're making her harder, tougher, hit harder, and probably be even. We're not putting any health mods on her, but she's probably pretty good defensively, anyways. With that critical chance, she's not gonna need it. So, that's what they recommend for Aurra Sing. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below, and I will see you in the other videos. Thank you for following, and may the Force be with you. Real quick, a side note, one reason why she tried taking Boba in for herself, trying to offer him a place, with her, she was friends with his donor, his clone donor, Jango. She actually had a kind of a soft spot in her heart, despite her thick-skinned nature, for Jango. She had a connection with Jango. I often have questioned if Jango hadn't been killed, if she might have ever attempted pursuing a relationship with him instead of Dengar. It has crossed my mind. I could be way off. But, yeah, the reason she was trying to take Boba in was because of her connection with his donor, his clone donor, Jango. But anyways, just like I said, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. And I will see you later on. Thank you for following. May the force be with you.